welcome to this edition of the Biker Angle. I'm James Hollywood Machikari. Thanks for coming by, stopping in, checking out the video. If this is your first time, come to the Insane Throttle YouTube channel. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. That helps out the channel, helps us keep bringing videos to you. Also, hit that notification button and share us if you can. Also, if you haven't picked up your copy of the new Age of Biking Brotherhood, it is the new book out, and it's doing great on the Kindle. I think it's actually #1 in the Kindle category of motorcycles. I haven't checked it today, but go ahead and check out that. Get the book if you haven't got it. If you haven't got it and you got any questions, go ahead and email me or hit me up on Facebook, and we can talk and stuff like that. And even better, yesterday just released an audio version of Journey Through the Biker Underground, where I have all kinds of interviews. I think there's like 5 hours on the MP3. Plus, you get a free copy of the ebook, New Age Biking Brotherhood, if you grab that audio. So that'll be in the description box, and I appreciate all the support and stuff like that. All the money that I'm making off of these goes to Motorcycle Madhouse's fund, so I get it going 5 days a week. So I really appreciate all the support out there. Now, yesterday, my old lady comes to me and says, you know, let's watch this Mayans MC show. You know, I wasn't a fan of Sons of Anarchy, so I didn't see any reasons why I should watch the Mayans MC, especially because, you know, my first club was mostly a Latino club. It was the Predadores. And I just had a feeling Sutter would fuck it up and how he was going to portray, you know, a Latino motorcycle club. So we turned it on, watch it, and the first thing that came to mind was, Jesus Christ, man, is he ever going to get going with a plot in this fucking series? And later in the show, you come to find out this guy, Easy's a rat, and his brother's working against the club, so there's a lot of intermingling going on there where the plot was like, Jesus Christ, just get with it already. But starting the show out with the main character being a rat is, you're not winning a lot of fans over, I don't think, Sutter. You know, I don't know what's going on with your freak mind, but the show was just, it dragged and dragged for me anyway, you know. And it's important to remember, it is a show, you know. This is not, it's entertainment. This has nothing to do with what the real club scene is about. And that's especially true when you watch that graveyard scene, when everybody starts popping off with AR-15s, AK-47s, and, you know, bodies are falling everywhere. Jesus Christ, man. Really? That kind of shootout, and there's no cops around. You know, you got the freaking Sons of Anarchy chapter that showed up to freaking help them. And by the way, there's spoilers in this motherfucker, so if you haven't seen it, man, sorry. As I knew, you shouldn't be watching a review of it. But you go back to the cemetery scene, and they're just popping rounds off left and right. It's like, this would never happen in real life, man. And if you're gonna do a show, at least be somewhat realistic, man. It's like, really. And, you know, another thing that really got my fucking goat was the whole time with the bikes. You know, I love West Coast style. I love the apes, I love the fishtails, all that shit on Fat Boys and what have you. But Jesus Christ, Sutter, the whole club don't have the same fucking setup. You know, he has every one of them Mayans in fucking Cholo West Coast fucking style right now. And that couldn't be furthest from the freaking truth. At least have some freaking, Jesus, have some, you know, separate some shit, man. Have some distinction between bikes. Because one of the things with bikers is they like styling their bikes to their personality. And I'm sorry to say, chapters of whole clubs don't have the same setup, you know, all these West Coast styles. Yeah, the bikes look cool, but it's just far from the truth of what it is. So, you know, I guess, he's intermingling some of the, the actors from Sons of Anarchy, like that prison scene where Gemma was sitting in there. It was 8 years before. So that's only telling you that, she was visiting the guys when they were locked up after that ATF bullshit, shooting that ATF agent and shit. So, and, I'm going to watch part 2 just to see how it goes. But after part 2, if it don't start picking up some pace and, getting the storyline, it can kiss my fucking possum dick, man. Let me tell you, shit. But it was like chalk. Nails on the chalkboard trying to watch that part 1 of the Mayans MC. And another thing, you cocksucker, you Kurt Sutter, the reason why I didn't watch it on the premiere of XX is because I like streaming it without fucking commercials. But hey, you had to put out an app there where you had to pay $5.99 where you don't get commercials. Screw that shit, man. So now you have to sit through all the boring ass commercials, and they pack the show with commercials, let me tell you guys. But yeah, that's my review. Right now, I give it, like, if you're going on a grading scale or some shit, I give it fucking like a B- right now, because it's just so off base, it's unreal. But let's get to some news, some real news, and not Mayan news, because, oh yeah, before I forget, you're already seeing it, I told you, you're already seeing it. There's fucking pop-ups coming out with the freaking Mayan-style shit right now, so... But, for our Latino brothers, man, don't get caught up in that bullshit, man. It makes you look stupid, that Mayans fucking whatever. But, let's get on to some news. Now, you gotta talk about some cojones, man. Us bikers do. Despite the threat of Hurricane Florence, hundreds of bikers and bike enthusiasts stayed committed to this year's Ocean City Bike Fest. Hell yeah, man. While Delmarva Bike Week was canceled due to the bad weather forecast in the area, Ocean City adjusted its portion of the 4-day event so that it could stay open, rain or shine. The roar of rumble motorcycles could be heard all week as bikers rode into town for the event, which kicked off Thursday morning. The event was moved to the Roland E. Powell Convention Center from the Inlet parking lot in Ocean City. Although the clouds were considerably smaller, well, you think so? There was a freaking hurricane in the area this year because of the weather. The convention center's parking lot on Saturday quickly filled up with motorcycles and bike enthusiasts. By noon, the lot was nearly full. Chris Barney and Cheryl Burton, who were the first attendees at OC Bike Fest, said they were glad the weather held out so they could come. The couple came down from New Jersey via the ferry on Thursday and planned to go soak in the events all 4 days. Quote, "We came down to have a good time and see all the bikes." So, that's awesome that the event kept on going through that hurricane. And that hurricane has actually dropped a lot of water out there. So you guys be safe, and hopefully the worst of it's over with. But let's go to the Calvet Recorder. And, this is something the mainstream media really don't get out there. And, the Calvet Recorder is more of a local newspaper. God forbid you'll never hear this shit in the freaking mainstream, where I'm talking, the New York Times, the Post, and all that jive. But the Calvert Hospital recently received a G-note from the Hells Angels Maryland Bike and Car Show, which was held in July. So they just got the money over there. They did a good picture, the whole 9 yards. It was held at the fairgrounds in Prince Frederick. The Hells Angels Nomad Maryland chapter organized a family-friendly event, featured a car and bike show, local entertainment, visitors from out of town, food vendors, and all the good stuff that's at one of those. They did have special guests. Rusty Coons from Sons of Anarchy attended and autographed photos. Rusty, man, he's a kick-ass bike builder. If you haven't checked out Rusty Coons' bike building skills, you got to go over there and check out his shit. Many members of the local chapter had been impacted by Calvert Hospice Quote, numerous members of our group have been touched by Calvert Hospice. This is why we chose Calvert Hospice, the organizer said. 17 years ago, the hospice cared for our grandmother, said Karen Horton, the wife of a Hells Angels Nomad Maryland chapter. The day she passed, I called you all and asked, what do I do? You said there's nothing else to do. You have done everything you're supposed to. Now it's our turn to take over. Now that's kick-ass right there, man. Kick-ass. In other news, this is going to the bikey side of things. This is in Oz. And also, I started putting, because I usually separated stuff, but I started putting now all biker news on HarleyLiberty.com. So you can find Australian news on there. You can find Canadian news, UK news. Anything that has to do with bikers or the biking scene is on HarleyLiberty.com. So usually there's 2 articles or 2 posts a day. Within them articles, there's usually 2 or 3 stories. So they're separated by banners. So it makes it easier to go between stories. Because, sitting there and posting or sharing news that only has like 300 words is a waste of a freaking post. So that's why I put them all together. But anyway, this out of Oz, 5 Hells Angels bikies, and if you don't know what bikies is, go back and listen to a couple episodes of Motorcycle Madhouse. We actually had Kev, an Australian member, on Motorcycle Madhouse the other week, so you can listen to his podcast, his interview, and it will tell you everything you know about the slang going on in Australia. But again, have been arrested after police found drugs and weapons in a series of raids cracking down on gang activity. Officers seized a handgun, various prohibited weapons, drugs, and items used in cultivation of cannabis. When is this world going to really get over cannabis, by the way? Something that's been in the public realm, and, going back 3,000 years that we know of, than when it first showed up in books, or in writings anyway. But come on, man, enough with the busting people for the cannabis shit. Yeah, I'm a little skewed because I'm a 420 freaking, I smoke up a dope, man, let me tell you. But anyway, it don't hurt nobody, man. Nobody's ever OD'd on the shit like this painkillers these freaking drug companies push. And of course, we know that drug companies don't want marijuana legal because they don't got their hand in the pie. But come on, enough with the freaking busting of freaking people with pot. It's ludicrous. It's a waste of taxpayers' money, and it's a waste of freaking time. Jesus. Anyway, as part of the 4-day operation that ended on Thursday in New South Wales, Hells Angels outlaw motorcycle gang colors and paraphernalia were also seized. And it's kind of interesting how the different countries spell shit. Like, we spell colors C-O-L-O-R-S. They spell it C-O-L-O-U-R-S. So, it's not a spelling mistake when you guys in the United States see these articles. You might go grammar Nazi on my ass and say, hey, this ain't the way it's supposed to be spelled. But yes, that's the way it is because we share the articles straight from the mainstream media. We have not put our opinions in or none of that shit. And it goes straight to the post. So that's how it's spelled in different countries. Anyway, the 5 members were charged with a total of 9 offenses, including assault, drug, and firearm charges, and breach of bail. The Anti-Gang Police Enforcement Squad, and this is one you'll hear a lot out in Oz, Strike Force Raptor, was established in 2009. The Strike Force is an elite militarized police unit understood to be made up of 55 top cops, with the primary goal of dismantling violent bikie gangs. Basically, they're the Elliot Ness of Oz. Detective Acting Superintendent Nick Reed said the coordinated multi-agency operations targeting criminal groups are an important part of combating unexplained wealth. God forbid if the people, the government don't get their fucking piece of the pie. Unexplained wealth. The gang crackdown involved officers from police area commands, districts, and region enforcement squads from across the state, and public order and riot squad. It's funny how the different countries, I'm not even public order, they got a public order squad. Quote, by executing coordinated cross-border and cross-jurisdictional operations, we enhanced our capabilities to disrupt illicit businesses, he said. You only got 5 guys, man. You out there talking like you got the whole damn fucking country. Law enforcement in Australia have a collaborative approach to targeting OMCG, who operate across border and across a variety of criminal activities. And you can see that somebody's a fan of the Matrix. They called it Operation Morpheus. Is a national anti-gang squad initiative aimed at detecting, deterring, and disrupting illicit activity of OMCGs, their members, and associates. So, there you have it from Oz. Also, before I let you go, and I think I'll do this one tomorrow, but they got a self-autonomous motorcycle, BMW, it's everywhere, all over the freaking news, where it drives by itself without a rider. It puts its kickstands down. This sucker, it's all on its own, man. This shit's out of Tron and shit. Now, if you don't know what Tron is, you got to go back, early 80s, I think it is, watch that movie, man. That's what we're coming to in the motorcycle scene with them bikes. All Tron setups and shit like that. But, anyway, you guys enjoy your Sunday. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Go visit our biker news site, HarleyLiberty.com, because now, like I said, we got worldwide coverage, man. We're just putting it all out there and shit like that. And that's because I know I got a lot of Canadian listeners and readers, and Oz and Europe. So, wanted to get that out there for them as well. So, with that, stay safe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.